Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
We used to set the precedents, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you all see now in y'all city, it might have originated right here in Boston.
I'm fucking Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Check where I'm from. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though. Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though.
I'm from the Roxbury where the murder is courteous and they'll shoot you 9 times just for knowing the Curtis. Don't give a fuck about your sense, whether it's 2 or 50. Crews stay together like reunions at Disney. What's history's in the past, but I never will forget being from a city where the currency is still respect. And as I say it, the hero cutting the biggest check. For De Niro's, a ton of zeros with commas left. A rock's tail on these mean streets, none of my friends eat. One eye open, how I get sleep. Tempt me never, these fiends wanna empty me. In a deep grave filled with envy, yeah. You don't gotta like me, son, because I tell it how it is and you tell it how it might be done. So I can stare down the barrel of a gun and still fucking pronounce that I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston.
Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Check where I'm from. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though. Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston.
Check it.
Really got my hook about the Roxbury though.
I'm from the Roxbury, the berry, but not the fruit, y'all. The way I'm spitting reflect the living is brutal. Take it back, way back to the grapes of wrath. When the splash hit the page, call it ancient raps. Pacing back and forth through my city, I can't pity myself. Don't answer to no one else. If there's a pamphlet on how to run your mouth, you read it like 10 damn times. I can't keep count. I got dreams bigger than Shook. Been a G like Edo or like Fredo. Been a Don, call me Corleone. More than half of the shit in my zone, poorly owned. I'm so worried that if I leave, it'll surely close. The bricks here get laid in the sun by hard workers who get paid with a pain in their guts. And if I stare down the barrel of a gun, I'll always say that I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston.
Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Check where I'm from. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though. Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though. Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Check where I'm from. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though. Boston. Check where I'm from. I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston. Really got my hook about the Roxbury though.
Yeah, you don't gotta like me, son, because I tell it how it is and you tell it how it might be done. So I can stare down the barrel of a gun and still fucking pronounce that I love where I'm from. Fucking Boston.
Check where I'm from.
Fucking Boston. Welcome back. Boston's Big Podcast episode, whichever at this point, but we're getting close to 100.
So whichever.
I thought it was 93.
Episode
It's
negative
probably
12.
93.
Episode probably 93.
It actually is most likely 94. Word. Because I think Lil Mel was 93.
Shout out
We
Lil Mel.
said Riggs was 93, but he was actually 92.
Shout out Riggs.
It's getting a little confusing.
Shout out
honestly,
Riggs.
but we're
Shout out
getting
Lil
up
Mel.
towards 100.
Shout out Boston's
shout
Big
out
Four.
Jennifer.
Shout out Riggs.
This
Shout
is
out
an
Jen.
Shout out Jen, my mom. She made the chicken wings.
Shout out Larry.
Shout out
out
Larry
Larry.
as well.
Shout out Jay Lawrence, the whole
Shout
thing.
out to Hero the MC.
Yo, thanks,
Dude,
dog.
Hero the MC.
I'm right here.
Shout out to Hero the
Hero
MC.
Yo, did you know he was here?
I just noticed.
I've been
But
here a
also,
while.
this is an unconventional intro. We're extra excited right now because this is now like our Chase episode. We were testing the waters of the in-person. We had a couple Zoomies after that. But here we are. We're back in the basement.
Back in the
Vaxxed
basement.
up.
It's official.
Loving it. Unmasked. Get
got
your vax, please.
Our step and repeat, as it's called.
Yeah, the step and repeat. We actually got to probably expand that too. I'm excited.
I'm excited,
So
man.
many things.
We got Hero the MC here, and he
Hello.
has a new album out
I did.
that he
Yes.
just dropped a few days ago.
I dropped a project on Sunday called Polyvinyl Chloride.
Love that.
You may have questions about why it's titled that, but it is a collaboration with me and European boom bap producer Wax 100. I think it testifies to the power of YouTube beats. It's just going through YouTube and looking at beats and being like, holy shit, this guy's fucking dope. I need it. I need all of it. I need all of it right now. And that's what I was like. I was like, dog, like, I need this right now. So I got 9 tracks and we fucking rocked it.
Hell yeah.
I've never met him. but he's a cool dude.
And he's from England.
He's from somewhere over the pond.
And we were just
Interesting.
talking about how, Europeans love
They
old
love
school
East Coast boom bap.
90s
Yeah.
East Coast boom bap, which is obviously your specialty.
Definitely.
So linking up with a producer from that area, definitely huge for you, for your growing your fan base.
It's a super extension of fan base. I mean, I'm already getting fucking people messaging me in different languages.
Word.
So it's
That's awesome.
it's cool. It's like, sure, woohoo! I just send them a thumbs up, because that's universal language.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What'd you say?
As long as their intentions are pure,
Yes.
they're not asking to send any money,
No,
things like that.
please. I am a Dubaian prince.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes those.
I need you to send me your bank information so they can free me.
Yeah, please marry me quick, just so it's like official.
The project is called polyvinyl chloride because you might be familiar with PVC as the
Of course,
as
yeah. The pipe.
as the contractors call it. It is the main ingredient used to create vinyl records.
What?
And as far as my thought
That's
process,
actually news to me.
That
I didn't
is
know it
news
was the
to
same
me.
material.
As
That
far
is news
as
to me
my
as well.
thought process of making that, I just said, well, his name's fucking Wax. What's
oh, love that.
what are vinyl records made out of? When I did Maximum,
fucking genius.
I dropped Maximum Carnage of January 2020, which was a collaboration between me and 16-Bit Spit. So my thought.
Shout out 16-bit spit.
Shout out 16-Bit.
Yes. Shout out producer.
Shout out
Can any of
16-Bit
us say
Spit.
it right? I think I know.
16-bit spit. Let's go.
Hitman's wife's bodyguard. Yes.
What?
No, that's a YouTube ad. You guys don't understand it.
Okay.
I have YouTube Premium.
Oh, I wish I had you. The ads are getting fucking stupid.
Flexing real quick on
But-
the podcast. This is
but
Boston's Big Four.
I do too. I wasn't gonna say
But
anything.
but what I was saying was I'm Hero, the MC, and he's 16-bit Spit. What are some superhero games on a 16-bit console, the Super Nintendo?
Super Contra.
And the only superhero game that isn't like a direct title like Spider-Man or Batman or whatever is a game called Maximum Carnage. So that's kind of how we came up with that name. But polyvinyl chloride is kind of the same process where it's just what can we combine with me and the producer that kind of makes it a little bit of us both.
So your titles are always kind of well thought out.
Yeah, I refuse to have album titles like Determination,
The Hero
or,
EP.
or like Heroes and Villains, or like
Yeah, yeah.
stupid shit like that. It's
Because I remember the eighth letter one was there was a lot of thought that went into that. Too.
super well thought. I mean, for starters, the eighth letter, that's the letter H. I'm
Then
super
Rakim.
I'm super inspired by Rakim, the 18th
Yeah.
letter. Guru is the Guru has called himself the 7th letter man, and he may he rest in peace, but he is my all-time favorite rapper of all time. And
Yes.
and I knew that I had to pay homage to sort of everyone I love in hip hop that has passed and is still with us on that project.
Big facts.
Big facts.
That project's fire. The new project is amazing.
Oh, it's killer.
I mentioned,
It's not about anything. It's just fucking
It's just
bars.
bars.
It's just bars.
but I mentioned
we
earlier
love
that
bars.
you sound even more aggressive on this project. Like I felt the hunger when I listened to it. I'm like, damn, he sounds pissed off. What are you pissed off about?
Okay. I'm sick of whack promoters.
Yep.
I'm sick of I'm just sick of a bunch of stupid shit in this hip hop industry, like people leaving New England and not getting too big for the culture, and there's like a foundation is not going to get built or stay built if you build it and leave,
Correct.
So even if you build a foundation and then leave, it's not going to exist without you.
Correct. And yeah, we say that a lot, and that's unfortunately something we see a lot with artists blowing up and leaving. But yeah, that's good to have that mentality that, obviously you're doing everything you can to build up the local scene.
Oh yeah.
You got the bars over bars thing.
The Bars Over Bars brand, it might not be as huge as I think it is in my brain.
It's huge. It's growing.
It's growing.
Basically,
Whatever you think it is in your brain, that's where it's going.
Okay. The goal with Bars Over Bars, and it's something that people have asked me, like what's your goal? And like my answer was like, I just like throwing shows. But the goal, literally, as of right now, and I've said this on a few podcasts over the last couple months, but the goal is to build a foundation in New England for New England artists to succeed.
Yeah, that's basically what you were saying before.
Yes.
Throwing shows.
I have
It's
it.
like
I have it more well worded, so now it sounds important. It sounds wise. But basically, we've thrown 38 in-person shows completely free for the artists since COVID started. We're on track to do 7 shows this month. We're on track to have our 50th show in August. We're actually going to Portland, Oregon in August to participate in their hip hop week. And that is not a East Coast versus West Coast thing, because that is not how my company will succeed. This is purely showing Portland hip hop the idea of how to throw good shows, but under a Bars Over Bars name. And they have really good shows over there. The Bars Over Bars thing is not let's take New England everywhere. It's let's take hip hop everywhere, and let's show places how a hip hop show can be thrown.
Absolutely. I mean, you sort of formulated this. This was pre-pandemic, right? And then
it was, but I had no idea what I wanted it to be at the time. And now we're live. Every event we throw is live stream, because why shouldn't it be?
Right.
It fully documents the experience. Plus, I mean, artists are like, oh, I need video, but like, video's right there, dog. Plus, I mean, right now we're getting 300-ish views a live stream, which I think is a lot.
For a live stream, yeah.
For a live stream, definitely. Yeah. And it varies. Like, some people stay the whole time, some people tune in for a second, but it's we get 300 views a live stream.
Yeah.
That reach is crazy, because
Paul Pierce only got 300 views on his live stream of him with all those strippers where he was smoking weed. So
yeah, when we were talking to Superstar Snuck, he was saying this about his like having like live stream shows and stuff. He was saying that I guess that is the type of traffic that's hard to get, because he's seen celebrities that can't
with like
get
a million followers that don't get a lot of views on their live stream,
or they're just dropping rapidly the second you get in because no one cares.
I think it helps that like, for instance, we do a show on Wednesday that I just titled the Wednesday podcast, or the Wednesday live stream, and we play music submissions, and we play new music, and I try to gather a list of new music, and we always have a guest. So half the music is so we usually play about 12 songs. So a guest will send me 6 songs. 3 of them will be songs that they're participating in, whether they produced, featured, or it's their own song. And the other 3 that they send me are just local people that they're not involved in, because I love that. That gives me music that they fuck with, and music that they're involved in. And then I pick 6 songs that just either came out or got sent to me or something like that. We play that every Wednesday. And I make a flyer for it too, and tag all the artists. So every time we have a show, we have new people tuning in and people sharing that flyer. And I think that helps build traction, because it's not just about Paul Pierce with strippers. It's about we're playing people's music on air to an audience of 300 people.
Yep.
Completely for free.
That's important. And that's something that I think there's not always obvious places to turn to, I think, for like especially new artists. You just have to kind of look around, and if there are people doing this, is like so essential to basically the industry. And I see where your head's at, and I love it. I just love doing that. Yeah. Every
event we throw is live streamed, and I'm saying this again because why shouldn't it be? The traction online you can get is so much more than you could get in person. And I hate saying that, but that's the truth.
Oh,
the world is all digital, and it helps us reach people that live hours away from an event, or live days away from an event, or something like that, who are fans of us, who want to catch it. And I had this one dude tell me that like his dad couldn't come to a show because he was sick, or like really sick in the hospital, and he got to watch his son perform for the first time on live stream. And this shit like broke my heart, because I realized like the shows we do are so accessible they can be so impactful for somebody, even just on a screen.
Yeah.
And it's not like shitty audio on an iPhone. We're not doing Instagram Live. This is Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time.
Damn.
And it's high quality video and direct audio. So this is like Versus stuff.
Shout out your graphics card. What are you using? Is it like an Elgato or something?
No, it's nothing. It's a $400 laptop my ex-girlfriend bought me for Christmas.
Wow. Shout out hardware.
Damn.
That's unbelievable.
It's okay. And then we also live stream 7 days a week with something that I am trying to coin as hip-hop television. It's content dedicated to artist network, discovery, education, and just it's designed to give artists pure feedback, which is something that's hard to get. Because if I send music to a homie, he's just going to send me back a fire emoji. But like if you send me a song for the Wednesday stream, I'm going to tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, how you can fix stuff. Like even if it's just simple shit,
Okay.
like
You're doing some Kato stuff.
even if
That's
it's
great
even
too.
if it's shit that's just like, yo man, like the mixing is a little off, or like maybe put an ad lib here, and it's just shit to help artists get better. And most of them don't take it personally. Some of them do because artists are known to be a little egotistical. But
For sure.
that is a double-edged sword because
It
obviously
is.
you want to be proud of your stuff and be able to stand up for it, but you need to be able to take criticism because it's valid a lot of the time. You know,
sometimes I get songs and they're good, but they're just not for me, and I'll say that. Like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just not for me. I don't have an opinion on it.
Completely
But
fair to
sometimes I
say.
get songs and I'm like, dog, this is garbage. But I'll be like, this is why it's garbage because that's important.
Right.
yes,
That's important. Why is it garbage?
yeah, anything constructive. Because also if you tell people that something sucks and don't give any context, then yes,
Then you're just a dick.
it is offensive in some ways. I can see why someone would be offended by that, despite the fact that maybe it does need work and this person doesn't know exactly how to explain to you, but it doesn't sound right. You know, there's definitely things that artists need to be used to, I guess, especially if you're coming up. So I guess that's just good advice in general.
Yeah, we've done the Wednesday show, which we just wrapped up our 28th episode on Wednesday night. That's our longest running. On Fridays, we do something called Check the Recipe, which is sort of like a Genius lyrical breakdown podcast that I host. Because I was sick of watching Genius episodes where like the backpack kid just comes on and says
And they
flossing for 20 minutes and he has to
Dude.
explain what flossing means.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what if we
my
did
God.
Genius but in a podcast, but it didn't feature lyrics that suck?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my thought process.
That's
to that.
unbelievable.
Those Genius videos are
How
ridiculous.
is that not a thing?
Yeah.
Genius, you really goofed because that's
Well,
so funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if
think-
you're
I
taking
think
the
about this
songs that
shit-
you know already what they're saying. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
It's like, let's hear Lil Pump explain Gucci Gang.
Like,
what
like,
is he talking about?
Like, I think Pop Smoke, I don't like his music, but I think he is a very talented guy.
Yeah.
But does Welcome to the Party really need a lyrical breakdown?
no.
This is what I'm saying,
No.
right? Yeah, it's
Not
like
at
and-
all.
And
There's a lot of great
and-
songs that don't
and-
need lyrical breakdown.
And is that something that Pop Smoke paid for to get on Genius, or did Genius need the Pop Smoke cosign? These are like was Genius like
Politics.
Genius was like, or was Pop Smoke like, yo, I got this song, like I want to promote it, I want to do a breakdown. They're like, okay, like, well, we need this, and this, or were they just like, hey man, like your song's blowing up, can we get you on this platform to help push us? I don't know what it is, but I couldn't.
I
But
think it was probably the second one.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
like, does the Backpack Kid need a lyrical breakdown?
Who's the backpack?
I don't
The
think
Flossin' Kid,
I don't know who you're talking about, honestly.
whatever.
so. I know what you're saying, and I want bars to be dissected, not like just.
Does
a story
Doja
that's
Cat
told.
need her song "Moo"
No,
dissected?
There's a lot of songs, and
No.
they're not. Doesn't mean they're bad songs, but there's a lot of songs
Okay.
that don't need to be dissected.
What are some songs do you think? Like, do we have any off the top of our head, locals that we're shouting out right now that should be dissected on this show?
That should be dissected.
Yeah, local people
I mean, there's a lot.
on the spot
I would-
right now.
Paranom. Like,
Okay.
his verses.
That's true. He would have a great one. Actually, Paranom should
Shout
be
out
on this-
Paranom, hit me up.
Shout
That's
out
the first
Paranom.
one-
He
That's the
should be
first one that
coming on
came to
soon.
mind because his verses are like deep and complex, and I'm
Yes.
like, I would love to hear him.
We should
talk
do
about
that,
his
dude.
verses.
Wait, can we guest on this,
Yeah, it's all virtual.
dude? We're gonna guest on this.
Guess on Check the Recipe. Yeah,
I'm ready for this. I want to be in on one of these sessions.
yeah.
This is exciting.
Let's do it.
Sorry, remind us again. What is the name of that show?
That show is called Check the Recipe.
Check the Recipe.
We normally do it on Fridays, but if we have a live stream show, that takes priority. So if we have a show on
Okay.
Friday, that doesn't take place. We've only done 8 episodes of Check the Recipe, and it's I've almost been doing it as long as the Wednesday show, and there's only been 8 episodes.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's not something that's, but we don't have a show on Thursday anymore, so I'm thinking about moving it, just so
Alright.
we can get it done. On Saturdays we do 2 shows. Sundays we do 2 shows. We have a show it's normally at 6 called Shots Over Shots, which is a music video review. Zach talks like camera equipment,
Ooh.
audio equipment, shit like that. Normally has a guest. He's
Shout
talking.
out videographers.
He's talking to like the Limitless guys and the Project 2 guys. He's getting Q Decca's.
I feel like I've heard of that too.
He's getting Q Decca's music guy on there soon. He knows a lot of
Oh,
cool
wow.
dudes. Also on Sunday we do something called the Prophecy Podcast with Obese the Prophet. He just talks about like,
Dude, Obese.
you guys know Obese the Prophet?
That's the dude from. Is he from Maine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I'm familiar.
Dude, Spose talked about him on the podcast. He had beef with him in high school.
Ooh.
Was that part of?
Obese. Remember
yeah.
the rapper named Obese? He's like, yeah, I think he's fat.
Oh man. Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if that
He
was,
But they're cool now. It's
Yeah.
not like a
he hustles
course.
real hard and he's a big part of our team.
Yeah.
So we love him. We love him. Mondays, Libsy runs the Whooshy Gang podcast. On Tuesdays, he also runs something we call What's Beef, which is a song versus song
Oh, that's
competition.
taken from the ISIS lyrics, right? Is that part of
it's
Logic's verse?
It's part of the Biggie
Beef?
song called What's
by
Beef.
Biggie?
Oh, bro, did I miss completely a different reference?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's
It-
Beef by Biggie?
I get it, but
yeah.
that's also my favorite Logic verse of all time.
Okay.
On that ISIS track, which is funny because we were just talking about how we didn't like that album very much. It's okay.
Oh
all right.
boy.
It's all right.
Reverse shout out.
Reverse shout out.
No.
Yeah, and then the Wednesday we do the stream. Something that we pull out of the bag that we've been pulling out of the bag a little bit more often is called Front to Back, which is basically the Wednesday show, but it's an album review. So we'll play.
So you just got shows weekly, dude.
So
Yeah, dude.
no, daily.
So much daily.
Daily.
I mean, yeah, I should mean like throughout the week.
So
yeah.
Front to Back, which is something we've actually been doing more and more often. It's the Wednesday show, kind of, but we play a whole album, and we'll have the person who made the album as a guest, and we'll talk about a song, and then we'll play a song, we'll talk about it, play a song, talk about it, play a song, talk about it, and it's kind of a little bit of Check the Recipe and the Wednesday show but it's kind of a whole album. We don't go super detailed into lyrics and stuff, but like a 5-minute explanation
that,
of a
though.
song.
I love that idea.
And it's hip hop television. It's
Yeah.
local hip hop television. And
That is fun.
And I wanted to start Check the Recipe for 2 years. The problem is that in my brain, first of all, I'm allergic to editing videos. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Tedious.
I get real sick and I gotta lay in bed for the rest
I
of the day.
understand.
Do you agree, Owen?
But
I do light editing, and it does make me
Yeah.
wary.
but I didn't think I had the time, the energy, or the want to film a podcast, edit a podcast, put up a podcast, and promote it. I live stream for an hour, Check the Recipe each week, and it gets uploaded automatically to everything afterwards. It's on Facebook,
Nice.
Twitch, and YouTube. And once the episode ends, it's on there forever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Goes in the playlist. It's
Yeah,
on
so
there
watch
forever.
your mouth.
There's no work. There's really no work involved in making that show, any of these shows happen. And we live stream. We get about 300 viewers each night, and it's awesome.
Hell yeah. You're
That
killing
is
it, dude.
awesome.
You're
Yeah,
killing it.
You're really out here outpacing everybody.
Yeah.
So
We're doing.
soon
I mean, I just
you'll
saw
be the
like
conglomerate first.
there's a lot of the old heads in this. I can't believe I called them old heads. There's a lot of people that have been
Uh-oh.
involved in the scene that are
Be
like
careful, the old heads like you.
the old heads do like me. There's a lot of people who are stuck in the old ways of hip hop.
Yeah.
For instance, like you need to be signed to a label to succeed, and you don't
course.
because the independent wave is fucking huge right now. Like if you want to be a part of a successful show, you need to pay for a slot that involves a headliner, and that's not the case at all. You need to put shows on at venues. Not the case at all. We've done 10 shows at a sneaker store, man. A fucking sneaker store.
It's a different
Damn.
world.
What's the
It's a different
capacity at a
world now.
sneaker store?
Right now it's 35.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
That's a cool spot in Haverhill. Shout out Crispy Clean Kicks.
Crispy clean
Shout
kicks.
to Crispy
People, if you
Clean.
need your kicks crispy clean, please hit up Marcus at Crispy Clean Kicks. He also has a party bus business.
Oh, really?
called
Shout out Marcus. Okay.
MB
Big
Transportation. He is the fucking man.
Is this real?
Alright.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Big
He-
shouts.
he
Big
is,
shouts to
uh,
MB Transportation.
Yes.
He is someone
Boss
who's
moves.
he's someone who's helped us out really, really much. But
Awesome.
besides that, I mean, we've done shows at barbershops, at comic stores, at
Dude, I want to go to a show at a barbershop. That
It's-
sounds fun.
when you approach people like, listen, man, like this is the future. Not only is this good for us, but it's good for you. 300 people online are going to see where you are. The 6 acts involved are going to post where this is. There's just a constant shaking hands of promo going on.
Right.
That's
and,
awesome. Yeah.
And right now I have a social fan base of about 10,000 people. About 10,000 people are following me combined on all
Killing it.
platforms. And I don't know if that's a lot or not, but I can put that on my EPK and be like, listen, dog, if you send me this track, there's a possibility that 10,000 people are going to see it. And
Right.
that's not like
it's significant. Don't sell yourself
that's
short.
no,
yeah.
no, that's a big number. Are
Unfortunately-
10,000 people going to see it? No.
Unfortunately, algorithms,
usually, yeah.
you
But-
know, it's bullshit. They're only
You're
gonna
really
let,
good,
yeah.
and we talked about this actually on your last Zoom episode. There's a formula to this, and you're pretty familiar because we interact, so like I'm seeing your things come up a lot, anyways. So we're sort of in a different pool, but it's like to keep yourself relevant in someone else's feed, it requires posting. Like
You
I
need
mean,
to
I don't know if we
Posting
should
a
do-
lot.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can explain it again.
Go for it,
You need
yeah.
to post every single
Every
fucking day.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, we are brands. That's why you have this.
It's true.
Because that's why. Oh, for
We're
the,
selling
for the
ourselves.
audio listeners only. This is why there's a big ass banner behind me that says Boston's Big Four.
We out here.
Whether you like it or not, whether you're a media company, an artist, an author, whatever, you need a good ass logo, and that logo is now your brand. Like Nike doesn't sell any shirts without Nike logos on them because that's Nike and that's their Nike brand. Everything I post has the Hero logo and the Bars Over Bars logo on it because those are my brands, and that needs to be pushed forward. If you're not using hashtags when you post, you're killing yourself because that is not allowing anybody who – the only way someone can see your post if you don't use hashtags is if somebody puts your post on their story.
Right.
Wow.
If I post with 30 hashtags, there are 30 hashtag pools that people who follow that
How many
follow
are you
those,
allowed? 30?
30.
Yeah, okay.
And you need to utilize, like, don't just type in hip hop. Like, type in sort of like bigger stuff, but not huge stuff, like Boston hip hop.
Boston hip hop.
Like-
yeah.
Like Boston's Big Four hip hop.
I do hashtag Boston's Big Four on everything. There's like 500 plus posts on Instagram that are hashtag Boston's
And they're
Big
all
Four,
you.
and they're all me.
Yeah. No,
Love it.
hashtags are important. It's shit like that. I did not like social media, and I shied away from it a long time. But
I understand.
it is something necessary that you need to do.
It's 100% necessary.
It's 100% necessary. And
as annoying as it is, I hate social media, but I understand how necessary it is.
Instagram's
It's like-
awesome. Like, Instagram's great. And that's pretty much the only platform I use. Everything I put on Instagram goes right to Facebook. So I don't got to fuck with Facebook unless
How do you feel about Twitter
I don't fuck with Twitter.
at all?
And it stresses me out. It reminds me of using Fruity Loops. I fucking hate it.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't like Fruity Loops?
I fucking hate Fruity Loops. Don't talk to me about Fruity. Don't come at me with Fruity Loops. Owen.
Really? I
Unshout
have it
out Fruity
right
Loops.
here.
Reverse shout out.
No, like Ableton freaks me out. Fruity Loops freaks me out. Gives me an aneurysm whenever
What
I
do
look
you-
at it.
What do you use?
I use when I do produce, I use Machine, which is
Okay.
which
Machine.
is Native Instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a
Shout out
machine.
Native Instruments.
Shout out Native Instruments. Unshout out Fruity Loops.
But Twitter.
I think you should give him a chance.
I think
but
you
it's
should
okay.
give Twitter a chance.
I know.
No.
I like everything I post on Instagram goes to Twitter, and I get it.
Okay.
Oh, you do have Twitter.
I do.
Like,
I do have.
developing like a following on Twitter takes some work. It's like I don't know. It's
I'm
weird.
on everything. Like,
Yeah.
I have a
Okay.
Bandcamp. I have a Loom Music. I have an Audio Mac. Like even if there are like 1% of people who listen to music use Deezer, like, it's important to be on Deezer because then 1% of the people who listen to music aren't able to listen to your music.
That's true.
It's important to be on anything. And the people who just put music on SoundCloud, you're
mean,
sabotaging yourself.
At this point, if an artist sends me their music and it's only on SoundCloud, it's like huge red flag, honestly, because I'm like, how hard is it to get it on all platforms?
Did you YouTube
How
to
much-
MP3 this song,
Yeah,
pal?
it's like, how much do you really care about your music if you're only putting it on SoundCloud?
It's $10 a year on Distro. I don't recommend DistroKid, but it's $10 a year to put your stuff on DistroKid.
Oh, I think
DistroKid. What other ones are there? United Masters.
I think you're on TuneCore, aren't you? That's what I saw last time.
I have one project up with TuneCore because I
Okay.
can't get it up on anything else.
Well, the name change was difficult, right? Because
The name change-
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
brought this
You
up.
things
you
up.
can't upload the same. You can't change the artist name when the song's up.
Right.
So you have to take it down and put it back up.
Yeah.
But you can upload the same song under a different name.
Right.
So
So then
do you
they're
have
like,
to
this is not
like,
your song, and you're like, yes, it is.
do you
Yes,
have
it
to
is, man.
change the track in some way? Like
I had to
put a
fuck
different
with the.
tag at
I
the
had to
beginning?
fuck with the masters so much. Like first of all, I
obnoxious.
sped every track up to 1.01 rate, which basically shaved like a second off of each song, made them a little bit faster.
Okay.
And that worked for a few of them, but didn't quite work on all of them. So what I did with the rest was I like added an extra intro or cut the beat out at the end, and it got squared away. But it took me like 2 weeks to fucking get a
obnoxious.
That's
project.
so
done.
annoying. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I mean, like, does it at least put it up as like pending loading or something, or can people not see those songs at all? I don't know exactly how that works. But
When
it
you
just seems
upload
like,
a song, it takes a few days to get there.
okay.
But it'll tell you immediately if it's going to go through because
All right.
DistroKid will screen the song and tell you if it's going to work. And then when it works, they'll send it to Spotify. And then that process takes about 7 days.
Interesting. Yeah, I
And
know
it
they
takes
have-
like less than a few minutes to screen a song.
Yeah, I was gonna say they usually just like scan the waves, so I guess
Yeah.
like it seems like you could match those relatively easily. But that is obnoxious that you just have to squish them though. And your song sounds different. I
A
guess
little bit. I
a
mean,
little
it
bit.
was enough of a change where like me who sits there and mixes and masters songs, like I have lyrics edged in my fucking brain because when I mix and master a song, I'm listening to it like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So I notice it, but like the average listener probably won't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Because you're
Okay.
just changing it slightly. You made
Yeah.
it a second longer, you said?
Yeah.
So,
No. They're
Shorter.
all about a second shorter.
Shorter.
That's because I made them a little bit faster. So
Yeah.
it's not that drastic of a change where
If it's a second throughout the whole song, that would make sense. Yeah, you
Right.
barely
Yeah,
even
yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the trick. So don't change your name.
don't change your name.
Yeah.
But the name change was important. Because if you type in Hero on Spotify,
Yeah.
there's like 900 of them, and the
Yeah.
biggest problem was
And
that
if you Google Hero,
if you Google Hero, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And Hero and calling myself an MC was just obvious because
'Cause you are.
I host events. I'm a
You're
fucking
the
killer
master
rapper.
of all ceremonies.
Master of ceremonies. Hero the MC. The reason for spelling it out the way I spelt out, which is a common way to spell it out, it's just I just like the way it looks on paper.
Yeah,
it just,
it matches
like,
the words. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
it's just like 4,
agree.
3, 5.
symmetry. We love that. We're all about that symmetry.
So
the best.
the new album,
Yes, sir.
you just released the 8th letter. What? How many months ago?
I
Was it
released
in
the 8th
October?
letter on November 15th.
Okay,
Of
so then you
2020.
just dropped a new album only a few
Yes.
months later. What was the approach like? How is it different from the 8th letter?
Well, I started working on polyvinyl chloride. I guess I should back up. November and April of 2020, I recorded most of the 8th letter. The only song that wasn't recorded, the only songs that weren't recorded was the first track off the 8th letter, Reminisce Part 1, which is actually recorded in 2017.
Okay.
Everything else was recorded between
That's a while ago.
March and April. Yeah, it was a deep cut that I've been trying to fit on for a while.
Yeah.
And then when I came up with the concept of the 8th letter, where the 8th letter is all about, it's all about what does it mean to be a legend? Is it important to be a legend? Do you have to die to become a legend? And is the legacy we crave hard to earn or given due to fatal circumstances? Meaning, do we have to die for our music to be considered great?
Wow.
And
That's
that's
deep.
kind of what the 8th letter's about. It tries to ask those questions. Unfortunately, there are no answers. Like, if Biggie and Tupac were still alive, would they have fallen off? Would they drop a bad album like Eminem, who is
right.
not arguably
This
the greatest rapper
conversation
of all
has come up
Imagine
before,
if
yeah.
Eminem died after the Eminem show in 2002.
If Eminem died from an overdose before relapse, would he be would those music would Encore be considered timeless?
Right.
Probably.
Encore's a garbage album, by the way. Shout out Encore. But like
He was on a lot of drugs.
But like Eminem drops a bad album in 2017, and all of a sudden his whole career is just whack.
See,
and it's not.
I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think his whole career is whack. Like,
No, but that's the stigma. That's the stigma. You listen to one album, and that's your opinion on it. Look,
maybe young people might think that, but I think people who grew up with Eminem, we appreciate him for what he is.
if you send me your worst song,
yeah.
that's how I'm gonna think all your other music sounds.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the way that it is.
Yeah.
If you send me one song, I'm gonna think that that's what it sounds. So if I click on an album and click on one track, I'm already not wasting my time, but I'm spending my time listening to something, and then I hear one song and it's not good. I'm gonna think the rest of the album is like that.
Right.
So not only is it important to release your best fucking music, forget what I was talking about. What I was saying is if Biggie and Tupac didn't die, would they still be on everyone's top 10? Would they drop a bad album this year and now their whole career is tainted?
I still think Eminem is on a lot of people's top 10, despite the fact that he's dropped some whack albums.
Eminem is on a lot of people's top 10 who grew up listening to Eminem.
Right.
Yeah.
Younger people, maybe not so much.
But people who
like
grew
if
up
the first Eminem album that you listened to was like Marshall Mathers LP2 in 2012.
People who grew up
if you're like a high school kid, then you might not, you're like, this shit's fucking whack.
Recovery is one of my favorite albums ever.
Me too.
That is not a opinion a lot of people have.
I have that opinion.
Yeah.
But I agree.
People
It's
had
not,
high
one of the-
expectations at the time.
that's
Because
the last
Recovery
album.
stood for something.
Yeah. Because Eminem disappeared for 5 years because he was dealing with, his personal demons and drugs and whatnot. Came back, dropped Relapse, and people were like, okay, he's still like crazy, just lunatic, Slim Shady. When he dropped Recovery, it was like you said, it meant something.
It meant something. It
Because
meant something to
it
him.
was like, wow, this dude like really made it out of the darkness.
He
You know
wasn't
what I
making
mean?
music for the fans. He was
Right.
making music for him, and
Right.
that's why we loved it.
So Recovery was the last album he put out that I really loved, honestly.
the Slim Shady LP to the Eminem show was made for Eminem by Eminem.
Yeah.
And the encore was made for the fans. And Curtain Call was made for the fans. And
Encore,
Relapse was made for
Encore
the
was
fans.
made on a lot of drugs.
Yes, but it was made for people that liked all the crazy shit on the Eminem show. That was on Curtain Call actually. That wasn't on Encore.
Fack?
Yeah, that
Fack was on Encore. Wasn't
No,
it?
no, that was on Curtain Call.
I gotta look
That was
this
an
up.
exclusive
I
track
gotta look
for the
this
greatest
up.
hits. I'm pretty
I
sure.
gotta look this
That
up.
was an exclusive track for the
I
greatest
think
hits.
Sound
it was
off in
on-
the comments.
I think
Shout
it was
out.
on Encore,
So-
dude. I think
That's
it was.
so interesting because honestly, I got into Eminem like
I could be
in
wrong, but I think
off
I'm
of
right.
Relapse in like 2009. I didn't even like listen to rap. I think.
I
at the
think
time.
there's 2 tracks on Curtain Call that are exclusive. I think it's Mockingbird and Fack.
Mockingbird is
That's on Curtain Call. That's not on Encore.
so Mockingbird is
Really?
on Encore actually.
No, it's not.
The one that was exclusive
Ooh,
was
sound off in the comments.
The one that's exclusive was "When I'm Gone, Just Carry On, Don't Mom, Rejoice Every Time You Hear the Sound
Yeah,
of
you're
My
right.
Voice." That's the one that was exclusive.
Those
on
sound like
Curtain
the same
Call.
song to me.
that does, yeah.
Those sound like the same songs to me, though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I feel like
I'm
those.
with you.
I feel like those two in my brain kind of molded together.
Yeah, that might
They
be
probably
what
did
happened.
come from like the same verse that diverged.
But I
into
remember
two
that
songs.
song when that song came out because Eminem hadn't released like that song kind of stood by itself because it was on the radio. I was in like middle school and I was like, Eminem was kind of falling off, but he had this one song that was on the radio still, and I was like, okay, maybe he's not falling. But then he disappeared for like 5 years after that. All right, Encore, we got.
Facts. Jack.
Is it on there?
Oh man,
I know. I'm right.
Fack is not on Encore.
But Mockingbird's on there.
Mockingbird is on
Okay.
Encore.
You
Yeah.
see, When I'm Gone, those kind of
When
those
I'm
two,
Gone, those are similar songs.
those I think
understand the
those molded in
confusion
my
there.
brain. But
Why did I think Fack was on Encore?
he's got a line in the
Not
song.
sure.
He's got a line in the song Shady XV off of that bad Shady XV project where he's like I put that shit on the greatest hits album. And he's like, why the fuck did I do that?
Oh man.
But
Yeah, Fack was a Curtain Call exclusive. I
Yeah.
was wrong.
yeah,
God damn it.
Recovery stood for something. He was making music for himself again, and that's why
Yeah, Recovery was-
that's why that's my favorite album. The 8 Letter's about that. So I recorded the 8th Letter in March and April of 2020, and I approached people about it, and I said I have this album. It's pretty much done. What do you think about it? And I was told that I was told by a lot of high-ranking people around here that it's not good. That it's not good, it's not releasing, and it shouldn't be put out. And I won't name names because I won't name names. But I was
Fuck
told,
'em.
but I was told that it was not good. So that kind of put me in a place where it's like, I guess I got to start over. So I started working on this polyvinyl chloride project, and then that was mostly recorded between this was mostly recorded in the summer while I was working with Nick Lovin on a project too. Okay. And then I kind of woke up one day in September, and then I was like, I have a whole fucking album that I didn't put out that I should have put out. And then I started reconciling with the fact that who the fuck am I making music for again? And I'm making music for myself. And I knew the project stood for something. I just had to figure out what it stood for. And then I quickly mixed and mastered it. It took me a while to get the artwork, but Bug Out did the artwork.
Shout out Bug Out.
Shout out
from
Bug
New
Out.
Hampshire.
Granite State.
Granite State, yes.
He's the fucking man. He did the artwork. I didn't have a crazy idea. I just approached people about it, and they sent me crazy ideas. And Bug Out was like, "Here's a simple idea for your simple idea," and I was like, "Word." But yeah, then the 8th letter came out, and it just, for me, it's a staple. It's a staple in the New England hip hop scene. It asks questions that I don't think enough younger people in hip hop are asking. Like, I think Pop Smoke's good, but is he a legend? Did he make enough music to be considered a legend? Did Tupac and Biggie make enough music to be considered
Yes,
a legend?
I think.
Tupac had more music released after his
death.
but was that music that he wanted to come out?
That's a good question. I always think about that.
Look. The DMX project that just dropped.
I have not listened to it. I have a hard time listening to music by artists who are dead. Like, honestly, Mac Miller's album after he died, like, I barely listened to it.
Guru is one of my favorite hip hop artists ever.
Yeah.
He is my favorite hip hop artist ever. And the 8th Letter, just like all my albums and all my music, is sort of a dedication to him. But I do not consider one of the best yet to be a Gangstar album because it's not.
Because he wasn't around.
Because it's
for
not.
it. Right.
Do you think he would have even wanted J. Cole on his project? Do you even think he knew who J. Cole was?
Maybe
all
not.
the Gangstar
we don't know. Like, so it's
all the Gangstar albums are like this. He will write names down He'll tell Premier what he wants the samples to be, and Premier will make the beats, and then he'll write to them.
So if he's not around for it, it's not
This
his
is
work.
not a Gangstar album. This is a post-mortem Guru album produced by DJ Premier. And it's a great album, but it's not a Gangstar album.
And I love the track with J. Cole. But I agree. Maybe he wouldn't have had J. Cole on the project.
Are the 20 albums that Tupac put out after his death, are those albums that he even wanted to put out? Are those the same verses on the same beats he recorded?
No,
It's does that taint the legacy? Somebody could listen to a Tupac album he
what's
dropped.
the song with Elton John? Ghetto Gospel. I heard that song was slowed down. Like they completely changed his vocals. Like switched it after he had died. So it's like it's not like he had the final say of what it.
But he should have the final say because it's his music.
I agree.
It's just a testament to shit like that, where somebody could listen to a postmortem Tupac album and think that that's what all his music sounds like, and it doesn't. And it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah.
And it's questions that we as music lovers, music listeners, and artists should be asking. What does it mean for someone to be a legend? Is it important to be a legend? Do you have to die to become a legend? And is the legacy that we as people...
Do you think you have to die to become a legend?
I think...
That might be a factor in the formula, but I don't think it's ever the deciding factor.
MF Doom dies and his streams next day go up 600%.
Anytime someone dies, their streams go way up, which is
why
understandable.
do we love people more when they're dead?
But tell me when someone
People
dies.
get curious.
Tell me when DMX died, you didn't go listen to one of his albums.
But
you probably did. You didn't listen to any DMX after he died?
I'm not a DMX fan.
Well,
yeah.
I can't even name a DMX song, man.
When someone who you're a fan of dies, like you're obviously gonna be like, "Oh man, I need."
Someone I'm a fan of, definitely.
Yeah,
but I'm guilty of the same shit.
Yeah.
On the song, this final track on the 8th letter is called Seventh Letter Man, and it's a letter to Guru, the Seventh Letter Man, and it's all about how I didn't love him until he was gone, and I'm guilty of the same thing.
But you were young when he died.
I was 12 when he died.
Right.
And I felt like, and listening to Moment of Truth for the first time. Like a few days after he died, fuck off. That's my phone ringing. Listening to Moment of Truth a few days after he died was life changing for me, and I wouldn't have had that experience if he didn't pass. So I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. But it's questions I want to ask that don't have answers. Guru to me is my biggest influence, but I wouldn't have known about him if he didn't die.
So, is there anyone living right now that you consider a legend?
Royce 5'9".
See, so they do exist.
They do exist. A lot of people around here are
Eminem's a legend.
You guys are legends.
Oh,
Not
man.
yet. Not yet,
Oh,
bro.
man.
We're climbing, but not yet.
We're not on the Mount Rushmore yet.
I think honestly, dude, you're on
You're
the
a
way.
legend.
That's what I would say.
Oh, I am a
Emcee
legend.
is a legend.
I hate throwing this fucking number.
Dude, throw
38.
Throw your numbers.
We're having a 38th show this Saturday. We have done
We need a soundboard with an applause.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
You gotta get Griselda in here for
exciting.
ad-libs. Boo, 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 boo. No. Everything I do is to solidify a legacy. I want to leave something behind that this culture can live off of for centuries. I want to build that hip-hop foundation with Bars Over Bars that will live on and on and on and grow and grow and grow. Like this is going to be the complex of New England, the Hot 97 in New England, and that's a big fucking goal. And I don't know if that's a year or 5 years or 10 years, but that's where I want it to be.
It's gonna be.
The goal is 24/7 Bars Over Bars. I want a lot of
24/7.
I want in-person shows. I want radio stations. I want TV networks. I want everything.
The whole thing.
I want the whole thing.
The whole shebang.
And
you heard it here first.
And
I don't know if
and
you said this
and
anywhere.
it is always going to be 100% free for the artist. No artist is ever going to pay for a slot.
You heard it here first.
Ever. You can clip it. You can send it to me when I eventually try to get this removed from the internet. But no. I'm serious. We have never charged an artist to perform, nor will we ever. We have never charged artists to submit music. That's not true.
So, do you think it's completely morally wrong to charge artists anything to perform?
Yeah. Without artists, there's no show.
This is another
there
fact.
are a lot of successful promoters who have been known to charge artists.
I know.
So
I just don't believe in it. It's not. It's not a practice that I believe in. I don't even go to shows with promoters that I won't even go out and support. A lot of artists send me the flyer, and I'm like, first of all, you're not even on this shit. You're not even on the flyer, which is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
If you're not putting your artists on the flyer as a promoter, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Some names, baby.
You fucked up, dog.
How can you be excited to perform at a show where your name's not even on the flyer?
Sad.
For instance, a show up in Manchester, right? A headliner with the 500K following just on Instagram. The flyer only has the headliner and location and ticket information, stuff like that. I know for a fact there's like 10 openers, but there's no openers on the flyer. So for that headliner who's got a 500K following just on Instagram to post that flyer, when sometimes they don't even post that flyer, to just have himself on it and no openers, that is a huge, tragic escalation of the amount of fans an artist could get just by them posting that. People will pay Method Man $200 for them to shout him out on Instagram. Shout them out on Instagram. It's shit like that. Why that shit can go a long way. It also sometimes doesn't fucking matter. Like, what are you gaining from Method Man? But at the same time, that's a decent following that could become fans of you.
Could.
True.
But man, an Instagram post, it's there and then it's gone. It's like that. You're probably not gonna think that was money well spent afterwards.
Fighting the algorithm. Yeah, that's
yeah.
weird.
It's all, once there's money on the table, it's all about what's in it for the person spending money. Because if I spend $300 on a slot, first of all, I won't, because I haven't paid to perform this year, and I won't. I paid to perform last year a little bit before COVID, and then after COVID I didn't, because I was the only one throwing shows, because I'm the fucking man.
Facts.
Dude, yeah, that was... I mean, we talked about this on your last episode, so I guess we don't have to go through the whole, like...
Oh, we can.
Because there was, because at one point you couldn't eat in the same area that you were performing.
We have a show at the
You were there, like, in the heart of COVID. Like, you were putting on shows.
Somerville tried so fucking hard to eliminate live music. It's not even fucking funny. It should be a crime.
So you were that last flame that kept live music alive
Pretty
throughout
much.
the pandemic.
Pretty
Because I
much.
think everything closed.
No, you were the only one putting on shows during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I've always looked at stuff like this. You can't wait for someone to come and give you your opportunity, because I waited a while. I dropped music on SoundCloud for 2 years, and I said, you know what? I make good music. Someone will find me, and I'll get signed, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, you can't. You got to build your own. It's like, you got to build your own shit. If you don't have a hype man on stage, which I don't have a hype man, I'm my own fucking hype man. You need to be your own hype man.
Right.
And you need to create the hype in the crowd.
Absolutely.
If there's no opportunities in your area, make opportunities. Become that scene. Become the foundation.
You're running it.
Become the foundation for a legacy of hip-hop in New England. It's
exciting.
I love it.
We're here, everybody. This is legendary.
37 shows later. We have our 8th show this Saturday. We have 6 other shows this month. It's going to be a good-ass month. We're taking this thing bi-coastal by the end of the summer.
Global.
It's global. And
How much you got in the vault right now, albums-wise?
Albums-wise. I have a mostly done album with Nick Lovin, which is going to be called Good Shopper.
Shout out Nick Lovin.
Which is the
Shout out Mick Lovin as well. It's
Which
his
is the
birthday today.
store that Mick Lovin goes into.
Mick Lovin or Nick Lovin?
Mick Lovin goes into to try to steal alcohol called
really?
Good Shopper. That's why the project's called that.
What? That's
Love
awesome.
that.
I
Okay.
love it.
And the artwork
Shout
is
out
gonna
Superbad.
The artwork is gonna be us like stealing musical equipment, but the store is gonna say Good Shopper, but it's gonna be in the Guitar Center font.
Okay.
It's gonna be fucking
Dude,
cool.
I'm telling you, the titles are always next level with
Killing
you.
it.
Good
Always.
Shopper.
Cheers.
Love it.
Besides that, like, it's kind of all I got recorded, but I'm writing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're always working.
Gotta love it.
I'm always working on one thing and then also kind of working on the next thing. So I always have something else cooking up.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, a lot of shit, a lot of good shows, a lot of good programs. Anyone out there, shout out everyone listening. We put a lot of people on. We started doing live stream stuff because there's only so many people we can put on a show before it becomes like, this shit's stupid. Like a 25 artist showcase that lasts 6 hours. That shit's boring.
Nah, you don't want that.
Here's what we do. We throw small, intimate shows that last 2 hours. Anyone can hang out anywhere for 2 hours, right? We have 5 artists on the bill or something like that. Everyone stays the whole time. And because I'm not giving physical tickets to the artist to sell, it doesn't become this situation where the artist goes up to somebody or a family member or whatever, and they're like, "Here, come to my show." It's here are tickets online. You can come to the show, and then it becomes a situation where people are staying because they're there to support the show, not my show.
Yeah.
I played a show in October, and I was given tickets to sell for free. I wasn't paid anything. I was just given tickets to sell and give the money back to the promoter, which is a lot fairer than paying whatever.
Right.
It's
Skin in the game.
It's
You
all
gotta have
different.
it,
It's
yeah.
all different situations. But everyone I brought to that show left after my set. And I think it's because subconsciously I promoted it as my show because I
Right.
handed them a
Right.
ticket. I've handed family members these shirts, and they're always like, I have your shirt. And it's like, well, no, you have a Bars Over Bars shirt. It's not my shirt. It's my company's shirt.
Yeah.
And I think it just stems from receiving something from somebody.
Yeah.
It's-
Of course.
That makes sense.
And I don't fault anybody for that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
You are the company.
We're creating events for hip hop, not the hip hop artists. We're creating it for hip hop. It just so happens that hip hop artists happen to be involved. There's only so many slots I can give out. But with the live stream stuff, I can play 12 songs, and that's 12 opportunities I can give for people to succeed, to gain something.
Right.
And the live stream stuff is huge. 6 people perform at a show, and that's cool. But I can't throw shows every day, just because of the limitability around me. That's only 6 opportunities I can give to an artist, maybe once or twice a week on stage. But I can give artists opportunities constantly with the live stream programs we have. And the whole point of this company is to just give opportunities to artists who deserve it. Another big thing is that I will never put somebody on who I don't like musically, because I don't give a fuck about how many people.
So important.
I don't give a fuck about how many people you can bring. I don't give a fuck about your clout. I don't give a fuck about anything. All I care about is if you're talented. If you're not talented, I don't want you. And it's no diss. It's just I don't like your music.
Right.
And I hope somebody takes that with like, hey, that's okay. Not everyone likes it.
That's
Right.
true.
But I don't care about ticket sales or popularity or whatever. I just like dope people.
That's super important. And
Yeah.
I think you're a rare breed in these times, honestly, because I think a lot of people are focused on the numbers and the clout and all that stuff. And, to have that focus where your shows are only going to be artists who you think you appreciate the quality of their music above everything else, that just raises the bar. I feel like that just makes,
If you go out to a show and see your friend perform, someone you know personally, and someone goes on after them and they're garbage, you're leaving.
Right.
You're leaving.
Absolutely.
Right? If you go to a show and every single act is cool, you're probably staying.
True.
Right? That's the show we're creating. We're creating intimate hip-hop experiences with quality performers. New England is kind of running around with its fucking head cut off with the amount of whack shit going on. There's
That's probably everywhere these days.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But with Bars Over Bars, we get to be the gatekeepers of quality because we only allow shine to shine.
Right.
And we're trying to give
That's
opportunities.
the beauty of having your own thing. You decide what gets,
Anybody
what you
can go to
accept.
Walmart and buy a microphone and go home, record, and put it on Spotify and get 1 million of views and get millions of views. But did you deserve those views? That's the thing. Does somebody who maybe doesn't have as much knowledge about promotion or marketing or something like that deserve to succeed any less than you?
No.
No.
Of course not.
There's a lot of talent everywhere that don't even have 100 followers on Instagram, and it's
Yeah.
a shame. It's a
sad.
shame, and we're trying to provide light to those people who don't really understand how to promote themselves properly.
So do you believe social media has been good for the music game or bad?
It's a double edged.
Yeah.
I mean, the accessibility of music is a great thing and a bad thing. For instance, like 20 years ago, if you wanted the song on iTunes, it was like a multi-$1,000 affair. So you needed a label to cover that. But in the end, the label owns your fucking music. Now there's 60,000 songs get uploaded to Spotify every single day, and it only costs you as the artist $10 a year to upload an unlimited amount that you want.
Right.
The amount of music that can be put on the internet is not only accessible, but you don't have to be a professional to do it. Anything can get uploaded. Anything. I could take an audio recording of me sweeping and upload it. That's just, everything is super accessible. And it also makes it hard to find the good songs. It's just there's a lot of oversaturation, and but if this was 1990, would I even be able to put music out? You know,
True.
Would I? I mean,
there's pros and cons.
If you wanted to put an album out in the 90s,
I can't even imagine what you have to go
you
through.
kind of have to be signed to a major label.
Yeah.
And that's the only option.
Oh, man.
That's interesting how recently that was.
Yeah.
Or are we old?
It's just wild because now anybody can put out an album.
Now anyone can put out anywhere.
It's good and bad. It's good and bad because there's a lot of talented artists.
There's a lot of talented people that wouldn't be able to make music 30 years ago.
Right.
That would have no chance of making music because
there's a lot of whack artists that wouldn't have had the opportunity 30 years ago.
There weren't any cheap microphones 30 years ago. There was $10,000 microphones, and then there was $100 performance microphones, but that was it. Like there was no like middleman. Like there's no Shure SM7B that you can grab quality for like a couple $100. If you wanted a good microphone, you needed to hit up a label and go to their studio.
Right.
So in order to make music 30 years ago, you really need to be signed to a label and have them cover that costs. And the only opportunities for artists to make money a long time ago was merch and touring, and maybe you make a little bit on album sales, but merch and touring is what you keep most of the profits on.
Yeah.
Because you're getting fucking fronted the money to make the album, and you got to pay that back.
Yeah, people buy merch.
And I refused to be owned by the man. Like I paid my phone bill in full. I went to the car dealership and dropped fucking stacks to get a car. I'm not rich. I just don't like owing the man. So I don't like owing anybody. Like I just got like an 8x8 stage for a show we have, and somebody was like, "Why don't you just rent that from a place?" And it's like, well, if I use this if I use this once a month, like it's gonna cost as much as it would to buy the stage anyway. So just fucking buy the stage.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So here we are dropping financial advice. Pay your debts.
Pay your
Have
debts.
no debts.
Slash a hole in all four ties.
Maybe
Next time you think before you eat cheese.
Whoa.
Maybe next time we'll
Nailed
get a
it.
copyright strike.
So on pitch that it probably would be.
Bow.
So scary.
Yeah, right.
So scary.
Hit him with a guitar solo, Owen.
Or be-
Right on cue.
Dude, I'm gonna get Wax to sample that shit. You think I won't? I will.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think, honestly, I have those pipes, but no one's ever told me before, and now you just did.
Yeah.
And I'm
I've
going to make money off that sample for the rest
I've
of
been
my
called
life.
the songbird of my generation by anyone who's heard me.
Yeah, I'm the songbird of my generation. Let's make a bunch of samples and then use them. Let's just make samples right now. Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Fire. Keep it. It's all hot. It's all hot. Keep it.
It's all hot.
Wee woo.
Man's not hot.
Wee.
Man's not hot. I don't need no jacket because man's not hot.
Man's not hot.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh.
And a boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's all hot. It's all hot.
1 + 1 is 2. + 2, that's Boston's 4.
Quick maths.
We got so much to work with right
Quick
now.
maths.
Fantastic.
Boston's big 4. Quick maths.
Love it.
Bars.
All right. We did it. Yeah, someone used that. Sound off in the comments.
Shout out samples.
Shout out samples.
Big shout out
We just
samples.
gave mad samples.
Shout out to the
Those
Boston.
are not free though.
Shout out to the Boston
We're
Big 4
charging- we're
sample
charging
pack.
for those
Yeah,
samples.
shout out BB4 sample pack.
Every
1.
noise we make.
Shout out bb4.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, so real talk, that was just samples though. Like we got the real stuff in BB4 Sound Pack 2, so that one's gonna
Yeah.
be premium price like next
If you
month.
pay me a fee, I will make a noise for you right now, and you can use it.
Yes.
That's 1 quick maths.
One quick math.
1 + 1 is 2. + 2, that's Boston's big 4. Quick maths.
Quick math. Love it. Where else? Everyone's a mathematician.
Bars.
Yeah, we're wicked smart.
I feel like music is math. It basically
In a
is.
way.
It's fast
Right?
math.
In a way.
It's quick math.
You're like, nah.
In a way.
It's fancy quick math.
Tight.
It's alright.
Tight.
Alright. Let's get after it though.
Bars.
Gang.
Bars over bars.
B.O.B.
B.O.B.
B.O.B. baby.
So, Yeah, we were asking you what was in the vault, and in terms of shows, like how have you seen the evolution now that like things have opened up? You've been doing it throughout the whole pandemic. We were touching on that. Like things are just open now. So have you found like there's competition? Are like dates filling up now?
Oh, there's
in the
always
booking?
competition, but I'm not worried about it.
I mean,
I just don't.
I mean, in the way of booking, because at one point you were the only one.
I just don't I just don't think about it like that. Like you guys could book a show at the same venue an hour before we do, and like I wouldn't give a fuck because I don't, because that's just not how I view it. I want everyone to eat.
True.
And I want to eat. Everyone's got to eat just like we're eating Jen's calzones. Shout out Jen.
Shout out Jen.
Shout out Jen.
Shout out Frank's Red Hot as well, official sponsor of Boston's Big Podcast.
Yeah, I mean things are filling up, but it's not like the shit that I do is still like my stuff's still locked. That's all I care about. I'm just worried about what I'm doing, you know. And people are still coming out to the shows to support, and yeah, not dissing anybody, but now that shows are back, there are a lot of bad shows coming back.
Yeah,
there are good shows coming back.
Everybody's itching to put on shows now because it's been so long. So there's gonna be a lot of bad, a lot of good.
The way that I see it is, every promoter that charged people to perform didn't throw a single show over quarantine because there's really no because you can't. You're gonna have to charge a stupid artist to perform just for a live stream show. Like he's got to be stupid. Yeah. He's got to be a moron.
Right.
And
real dumb.
And you got to be super dumb.
And I guess there's some revenue to be gained there, but any artist who's like not a moron, like I'm pretty smart. Listen. I'm okay. I'm not that smart, but I think I have a lot of experience.
You're not a moron.
I'm not a moron. I like to think I have a lot of experience in this hip hop shit, and I kind of know like what's a good choice and what isn't. Paying to perform in front of a live stream, is kind of pointless.
Not the move.
Not the move, and I kind of equate it to like, well, if I put $50 into you rather than if I put $50 into like Instagram promo, like would I get more views with your live stream or with Instagram promo? Because if you're a platform that gets like you have an average of 10 viewers the whole time, like how many viewers are you getting? What's the final view count? Like is the event being promoted? Like stuff like that. Like that's questions I ask myself, even if it's just a live stream event. But now that things are opening back up, there's a chance for promoters who charge people to perform to start charging people to perform again. And I think that me showing the region that you can have good shows without charging artists to perform, especially in a time when there aren't any other shows, I think it's showing a lot of artists and even artists we haven't worked with that maybe paying for shows is kind of whack.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have come to that realization recently. There seems to be like an uprising of artists being like, I'm not paying for shows, where that wasn't the case a few years ago.
Yeah. The independent wave, it's not just me. I mean, I like to think I have a little like drop in the bucket, but the independent wave is just it's just huge. You don't need anybody to be successful. I mean, you can spend $10 a month on Skillshare and learn everything you need to know about mixing and mastering and be a fucking prodigy in it. It doesn't it's all about where you dilute. It's where you dilute your resources in. And you can pay somebody else to do it, sure. But like I do, if you ever see a flyer on my Instagram, like that's an edit that I made. Like I added the effects, I did the shit, and it looks crisp. I didn't pay anybody for that. Like Nick Levin makes my flyers. Everything else on bars, like all the live stream programs that we have, that's all me making the flyers. So it's just shit that I've learned. I'm a real one-man band, and I've learned how to do shit.
Yeah. You've learned that it's better to just learn how to do things rather than pay people to do them all the time.
That is big.
When I was making the 8th letter, I was told that the mixing and mastering is not good. So I was shipping it around to people and like, hey, can you mix and master this, whatever. And I would get it back, and then other people would tell me like, oh, dude, like this mix is so clean. And then in my brain, I'm just like, shit kind of sounds like garbage.
Yeah, like no, it's not.
Like and I need to figure out like, and it was at that point where like I was good at mix and mastering, but I was told that I wasn't good by people who I believed had a lot of stake in this game, especially in the local scene. I was told that this shit wasn't good enough, and it was at that point where I realized that this shit's only gonna sound good to me. The music I make for me is only gonna sound good for me if I make it, if I finish it myself.
Right.
And that is still true. I make music completely for me, and I am very grateful for everyone who listens to my music, gives it a chance, talks about it, shares about it, and even gives me critiques about it. I appreciate everything. But at the end of the day, the music's for me, and it's just a fun thing that I do, and I push for myself because I just love making music, and I make it for me, and it truthfully keeps me alive. Because if there was a time when if I didn't have music, like I would be a dead person. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities to make music as accessible as I have them.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
that's great. Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah, thanks.
If I didn't get in this podcast, I would have ended everything. This is how important this
God
was for
damn
me.
it.
So we're just out here saving lives.
Save. This podcast this is my Make-A-Wish. Thank you guys for having me.
Make a wish. Oh god.
No. That's too much.
That's too much.
You guys ever see that Key and Peele skit where he's like, "I want to see a man drown"? Have you seen that?
No.
There's this Key and Peele skit where this Make-A-Wish person goes to this really like fucked up kid. Like you guys ever seen the show the movie The Orphan?
Shout out Key and Peele.
You guys ever seen the movie The Orphan
don't
where
think
like
so,
it's
no.
like it's like
I
a
know what
kid
it is,
it's
yeah.
like a kid that comes in a house and like tries to murder the people, and it's like a real crazy
She's an
like it's like an
adult.
orphan kid,
Yeah.
and he's like sick and dying from cancer, and then it's like, do you want to possibly meet Batman and like, ooh, save the town? And then the 6-year-old boy's like, I want to drown a man with my own hands.
It's like, all right. That's what he asked for.
I want to hear a man's dying breath. Don't you want to like meet Spider-Man or like go on an amusement park ride? I want to drown a cat.
That's wild.
Nervous. I'm nervous now.
That's what are you nervous about?
I don't know.
I gotta send you.
Are we about to get canceled?
I'll send you guys that skit, but it's Key and
That
Peele's
was
fucking
on
hilarious.
point. Yeah, my word for word, the whole skit. I'm just kidding. Imagine.
We're getting canceled.
Cancel copyright. Imitation.
No, that does sound funny. I love Key and Peele,
Key and
but
Peele's
I've
fucking
not seen every
dope.
skit. I thought I had at one point, but I obviously haven't seen
Big
this
shout
one.
out Key and Peele. Big
I've seen them
shout
all, and then I'm subscribed to they upload them. They like, even though they upload not a new one every day, but they upload a video every day, and it's always an old skit. So eventually you'll see it if you follow the Comedy Central page.
Oh, interesting.
But it's like,
Shout out Comedy Central.
even like very often I'll watch a Key and Peele skit and I'm like, I've seen this, but like I forgot about it. It's fucking hilarious. Shout out
So
Key and
funny.
Peele.
Shouts.
I forgot what we were talking about. I got interrupted with drowning a man.
happens.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Oh man.
Oh, there's something about a Make-A-Wish.
Oh, sad.
Where'd that come from?
Music saved your life.
Music did indeed save my life.
So we spun it funny, thank goodness.
Yes. We
Yep.
took a dark moment and made it funny.
You
That's
did.
that's what we do.
Thanks for being here. Yeah,
You got it.
We love
You got it.
And yeah, that is great. And we actually, that's a core thing of Lomel too, like of music, like showing love for people and like being the person. Sometimes
Be love, show love.
Yeah, being love and showing love. Like sometimes your music could be the thing that saves people, and like that's something that, I mean, I know it's a weird, almost a deep thing to say, but people often do relate to music, and then that can be a whole thing. So keeps people going, in like
It
the
does,
dark
it
times or
definitely
whatever.
does.
So it's nice. Music's
is
great. Touches
therapeutic.
everybody.
It does.
Therapeutic.
Hell yeah. We out here. Listening
out
to
here.
music. Living. Being alive.
Bars.
Bars.
Jack, you got to get in this rap game. Bars.
Yeah, I do need to get in the rap game.
Bars.
You're right. You know what? You just inspired me. I got a new album coming 2022.
Word. Called Boston's Big Five.
It's called Boston's Big One.
Boston's Big Five ever.
2. Me and Owen.
Yeah.
We'll do a
Los Dos.
duplicate.
Los Dos.
Yeah. Los Dos.
No, I'm excited. I mean, your guys'
Owen E. Jack.
See.
your guys' podcast has really grown a lot, and I love seeing it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're having fun with it, man. It's good.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Yeah, we're having fun with it, and we're making a lot of good connections. Like it's obviously you know, having you in our corner now, like it's our 3rd episode with you. It's been a couple years since you came on first, and just like other people that we've had on multiple times, like had them, you know, been talking to them for a couple of years now. Like we're starting to develop these relationships where like we feel like we're in the game now, you know, which you obviously are as well. So
Yeah,
Feels like we're in the game.
us 3 are gonna throw a lot of cool events this year.
hell yeah, let's do it.
I don't have a lot of
Ooh,
South Shore locations, especially around this area.
Because there's not a lot.
But like it's a test. Like you don't need a venue. Fucking
fine.
sneaker store, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
we could throw a show in
Find
this
some
basement.
halls.
dude, I was actually gonna approach you about that.
About throwing a show
Well, not
here?
today. I had this idea like
don't
like
know.
a month ago. I was like, yo, how does Jen feel about?
Yeah.
How does Jen feel
we'd have to
about like a
talk to
show
Jen.
down
We'd
here?
have to talk to Jen about that.
Just like a party down here. Just like a basement show, you know? It's not a bad
show?
gig.
That could be fire. South Shore needs more hip hop venues. South Shore, get your shit together. Stop
Yeah,
being
we'll
so
find 'em.
goddamn white all the time.
Whoa, that was racist.
I'm sorry,
Whoa.
was that racist?
Cut that out. Cut that out.
That out,
Cut
yeah.
that out.
That out. Oh man,
Hashtag post editing.
thank God we caught that market.
Thank God we got that.
I apologize to all the white people who were offended by my comment. Oh God.
Jack's the bad boy of this
I think we should
podcast.
wrap it up.
Yeah. All right.
Just cut the whole end off.
Cut the whole thing. Scrap it. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
we
This
gotta
was a
throw it
great
out.
episode.
No, terrific.
Appreciate you
terrific
as always, bro.
fucking episode. We're gonna throw shows over shows.
Mm-hmm.
For those wondering, when does this episode come out?
Probably in a couple weeks. We have.
Let's not lie to him now. A couple weeks.
Well, 90's about to be posted next week, so it'll be a couple weeks.
Well, I
This
just
is
don't want to
94.
promote. I just don't want to promote shows that are already like out, that have already happened. Like I've been talking about the show on Saturday, but like
That'll have happened.
the show on
Yeah.
Saturday
So
is on 6/5.
It was dope.
So if you miss it, you miss it. It was dope.
We got a few to get out before this one.
Yeah, we definitely have a few. So this is
Dude,
the
who
future.
came out to the show?
Everybody
Didn't
did.
like.
Oh my God, Jack.
Oh
was
my
there.
God,
I
Jack was there.
Dude, that shit was lit.
Dude, that shit was crazy.
It was,
I heard Riff Raff came out.
Yeah.
Riff Raff was there briefly.
Dude,
Riff
Riff
Raff
Raff-
was there.
Dude, I heard Riff Raff played a cover of "Tiptoe on My Jordans" on an electric guitar.
That was sick.
He did.
He did.
Yeah,
he
that
did.
was
No,
sick.
fucking. You know who did that? Who did that though? Fucking Sway Casey at the Palmer Square show.
Really?
Remember that? The one in Boston.
He did that?
Were you there for Sway Casey?
I don't know. I don't
He
think
was
so.
the kid. Feel Good, Feel Great.
I must.
He
have
was one of
missed
the
it.
openers. He went after me.
I
He fucking played. He played "Tiptoeing on Your Jordans" on an electric guitar.
do not remember.
Fake
that.
fan.
Sorry. I
Fake
may not have
fan.
been there.
Fake
No.
fan.
You're not a real Riff Raff fan.
Fake
was there-
fan.
I was there for Nasty and the Palmer Squares.
I fuck with Nasty.
Shout
Dude,
out Nasty.
dude, Stevie Ray was dope.
I saw Stevie Ray. 'cause
Stevie
he made
Ray-
everyone get in the circle, and that was so interesting. Yeah, Stevie Ray he's doing big things right now too. Actually,
That
He
showed
was
me.
dope.
That showed me
Dude,
the power.
Shout out Don Def.
Shout out Don. Dude, I fuck with Don Def.
Yeah, I remember we
Oh, I
mentioned
saw
him.
Don Def too, and the
Dude, he's
supervisor.
been dropping some fire recently.
He's always dropped. He drops
I know.
way too. He drops a lot of music, and I can't keep up with it. I feel bad.
I know. That's like a lot of artists. Do you know G Fan Black?
Oh yeah,
Dude.
we played him a lot on the Wednesday.
Oh,
stream.
really?
Yeah.
That dude drops so much
I
fucking
know.
music,
I
dude.
know.
And it's all fire, and I try to keep up with it. I'm like, dude, I'm still listening to your last album. Like, I'm sorry. He's so fire, though. But, like, I admire anyone who drops that much fucking music. I'm like, God damn, boy. You are working.
I wish
Big work.
Sometimes I'm just like, sometimes in my head, I get a little like jealous of people who drop music all the time.
Yeah, but
And
that's
it's
not
just
always
like
the best.
I know. In high school, I used to get in high school, like I wanted to kill myself, and it stemmed from
Same, bro.
it stemmed from a point of being not diagnosed at the time with depression or anxiety, so I wasn't medicated for it. But I would go on Facebook and just see everyone else just like having fun with their life, and I'd look
See, that's the issue with social
and
media.
I look at my life and I'm just like, well,
That's the issue with
fuck?
social. That's one of the bad things about social media.
I know.
We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people, and it's horrible for our mental health.
Bad.
It's horrible for our mental health. It's not good.
But I know that like I wanted this album to drop in like February. But it came out in March, and I'm not fucking worried about it. I mean, it came
Right.
out in May,
And you
but I'm
shouldn't
not
be
worried about it. I'm not worried
Do
about
it on your own
It
time.
took as long time.
On your own terms.
It came out on my own terms. It came
Right,
out when it came out.
exactly. You can't think about what other people are doing, but it's so hard not to nowadays
Yep.
with social media. It's like we're always just comparing ourselves to other people.
But like I've played 150 events in the last 2 years. There's always going to be another show. Like there's always another show. And if I don't get on this show, I'll get on the next one. And if I don't get on the next one, I'll get on the next one. And if I don't get on that one, I'll fucking book my own.
Right.
Like
Love it.
that's the kind of mentality I have as far as this hip hop shit. Like I'll try to get opportunities, and if it doesn't work, I'll make my own opportunities.
Hell yeah.
Bars.
Bars.
Killed it.
All right.
Yeah.
Killed it.
That was honestly, yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you.
I'm sure we'll
Hero
see
the
you
MC.
again.
When
yeah.
do you? How much you guys owe me for the night?
Yeah, 700.
Yeah.
I think is what we were saying. But yeah. Anyways, BB4.
BB4.
This is it.
This is it. Hero the MC. This is your 3rd episode. Yeah.
Word.
Wrapped.
So you're a veteran. You're a veteran now. You're well established.
For whenever this episode comes out, our current Bars Over Bars show dates are as explained. On the 5th, we have a
Yes,
show at the Jungle. On the 12th, we have a show at Surefire Studios in Lowell. On the 16th, we have a show at Midway Cafe, which is my album party. On the 18th, we have a show at Crispy Clean Kicks in Haverhill. The 19th, we have a show in Sandown, New Hampshire. The 25th, we have a show in New Bedford. The 26th, we have a show in
Everything's planned already.
Yesbrook, Maine. No, Yes Brewing in Westbrook, Maine. I always fuck that up. And then the only thing we have in July currently is a show at Midway Cafe. Nick Moody's coming up from New York. He's going to be a featuring performer on that. I just got the text right now. Nothing big, but it's cool to work in people who aren't from New England into the show love on both sides. We're also planning a 3-day event at the Basque Pot Dispensary in Fairhaven. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that location.
I'm not.
But we're going to be looking for artists in the South Shore area that are willing to.
So you're doing a show at the dispensary?
It's going to be outdoors.
That's
awesome.
I
don't know. We don't know the full details. We're still trying to figure it out. But it is going to be a 3-day event at the Basque.
Sweet.
It is going to be a very cool event. We're thinking a lot of performers. So if you're a dope performer from the South Shore, or you want to come up from Boston or whatever, just come down, hang out, rock a set, that kind of thing. Just let me know because
Sounds like a squad
it's
event,
not an
yeah.
open mic. We don't do open mics because then we can't curate the talent. We
True.
book purely on talent. I get a lot of people who send me messages, and sometimes it's not it, but it is what it is.
I understand.
Looking forward to it though.
Love it.
Can't wait. Can't wait to get back out and around people and just feel the vibes.
I'm
Good
pumped for it
times.
too.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Dog, I've thrown so many shows I don't even know what you're talking about. Don't even know what you're talking about.
Hero the
All right,
MC
well,
everywhere.
For the rest of us who
For the rest of us.
quarantined,
For the rest of us who did what they were supposed to do.
wore our masks. You see the sign. Thank you for social distancing.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for social distancing. But you don't have to anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just magically
Yeah,
over.
it's over.
It's
just magically over.
It
No
ends
mask.
Later.
Anyways, yeah, Hero the MC everywhere.
Hero the MC. Go
Bars.
get that new album.
Bars,
right now.
polyvinyl chloride.
Vinyl chloride available on all platforms.
Whoa, radio.
Whoa. Where'd you find this?
All right, yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Practice.
All right.
Speaking of
Anyways,
McLovin.
yeah, wrapped.
It's a wrap.